And so we finally come to the end of our journey of ancient Greek tragedy and Greek mythology with our Athenian playwrights Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides. It's hard to believe that we finally have come to the end, but I want to thank you very much for having been part of this journey. I know that it was at times a rather long, complex one, but I do hope that you were able to read the plays and really get quite a lot out of them, maybe some new understanding of life in general, some new inspiration about how things are. So I do hope that it really came across to you really well and made a difference in your perspective on the ancient Greek world and maybe on your own life to understand the way that sometimes the vicissitudes of life don't necessarily go our own way, but we have to figure out how to move on from that when that actually occurs. I wanted to express my appreciation in particular for any students who took your very first online class here. I know that sometimes the transition from in-person classrooms to the online experience is not always easy. It can be a bit intimidating. So if this was in fact your very first course, thank you so much for making Classic 397 Greek Myth and Tragedy with me your first course. I hope it did go very well, and I hope that this will inspire you to take future online courses. This has become, of course, over the last decade or so, the growing trend in academia to teach courses online. So maybe this will give you some other ideas of what else you'd like to study online in years to come. So, and for all of you, again, thank you so much for being a part of this. I hope you will take some additional CLA courses with me. If you have any interest in knowing about those, you can email me separately. And also, if you would like to keep in touch with me about the ancient Greek and Roman worlds, just in general, I would definitely value that, and hope that you'll email me to keep in touch with me about anything that you'd like to discuss. Okay, now I would like to cover the final exam itself to make sure that I give you the appropriate send-off, that your grade will be in excellent shape as you complete the course. So let's take care of the final orders of business. First of all, there is the Oath of Academic Honesty once again. Please review it to make sure that you know its standards so that you will observe them properly for the final exam. Again, make sure that you did actually submit it into the forum on the first session of class a long time ago. Go back and look at that forum, the Oath of Academic Honesty forum, and make sure your document is there, or else apply it if it's not, and make sure you understand what it asks of you. Okay? The final exam will be provided for you either a week before the due date or a few days before the due date, depending on whether you're taking the school year schedule or the summer schedule for the course. For that, you have to know from your calendar and your syllabus and forums. But in any event, it will be in the resource as a special document that has not been there all year until now. And it will be accompanied by the final exam study guide, which is available for you optionally if you want to use it. And there's also the end of class survey, just to talk about in a moment. Please make certain that you do get that final exam out of resources when it's available before the due date, because after the due date it will disappear, just like this, as in the case of the midterm exam. Don't get in a position where you have to write to me afterwards and say that you missed it. Okay, because in that case you'll be submitting the exam in late and will be incurring a late deduction. So avoid that tragedy at all costs. Okay, so final exam, make sure that you get it out of the resources folder in a timely manner early enough so that you'll be able to complete the exam and get it back into your Dropbox also in a timely manner by the due date. Okay, now together with the final exam, as we said, there is the final exam study guide available for you to use for studying and reviewing before you actually take the final exam itself. There is also the end of class survey, which is from me. You can fill that out. It's very quick, and you can put that into your Dropbox. And this is quite valuable for me to get feedback from students, to know how they think things went, and is there anything that they need to let me know should be improved in the course for the future. This also, again, is separate from the IDEA survey. That's the one that has a link on Sakai as well, and that one is for the university. That one will be submitted directly to the university. So that one goes to them, and this one comes to me. I'll see both of these and will, again, profit greatly from your feedback. The university also would appreciate your giving them your feedback on the course. So if you have praise and compliments, I love those. But if you do have anything that needs to be remedied for future classes, do also let me know that, and I'll definitely take that in consideration as I allow the course to evolve in the future. Okay, so please take care of those. All right, so final exam, again, get it out of your resources folder, and please remember that it is expected to be completed within a single sitting. Please, if you really do have to split it up among multiple times because of your schedule, we'll deal with that as is, but if you can, please do complete both closed book part and open book part in a single sitting. There's not too much to say about them themselves because you've already heard of my spiel about them from the midterm exam, but let's just go through them anyway. The closed book part is only 4 passages. You do not need to worry about IDs this time. Only 4 passages that will be emailed to you in the days leading up to the due date. So there should be an email coming to you to say, watch for them, and then you'll actually get the email itself with the 4 passages. Okay? Same 4 questions: title of the work, author of the work, the general summary of the plot, and the context of the passage within the play, anything noteworthy about the play that the author is trying to highlight, and try to remember to talk about what makes these passages tragic, just like you did in the midterm. In what way do the passages highlight the tragedy that's either has occurred or is going to occur in the plays. So all of the plays that you've read, all the ones by Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides are up for grabs for these passages. So study all the plays very carefully, and once again, be especially attuned to the ones that are similar. Okay, you've got 2 Electras, and you've got libation bearers, and you've got 2 versions of Antigone, as we talked about before. So be careful. Be sure you have them all distinct so that you will be able to tell them apart when you actually get your passages. Okay, so that's the passage section of the closed book part, and once again, no aids except for brain and computer to use for the closed book part. Okay, open book essay. How mythological is Greek tragedy? That's your question. How mythological is Greek tragedy? As you did with the midterm, provide me an argument, provide me with evidence in your central paragraphs, and then conclude. Once again, watch out for grammar, punctuation, spelling, sentence structure, all of those important things. Italicize all the titles. Use not a conversational tone. Avoid contractions like don't, doesn't, isn't, aren't, and so forth. Do not use those. Make sure your tone is always professional and formal, the way you present your topic, as scholarly and erudite as possible. And again, in your central paragraphs, please be really careful about providing evidence taken directly from the plays. So preferably actual citations of passages from the plays that tie in with your argument that you can discuss analytically and show the various claims you're making that then support the argument that you want to make. So introduction, your evidence, passage citations, and your analytical discussion of them, and then finally your conclusion. So if you do that all correctly, then you should be in good shape. Get it all together as a single document, preferably a Microsoft Word Office document, otherwise a PDF is acceptable. Again, the essay, 5-6 pages, 12-point font, 14-point font is fine. Make sure you cite, according to the oath, cite anything from outside that isn't from the course itself, any additional sources, bibliography or work cited, and footnote, endnote, all of that, and you should be in fine. And then get the whole thing finally in your Dropbox by the due date, and you'll be done. And no tragedies. Your grade will be a much happier experience than those of the various characters that you met. So once again, I hope this final exam goes well for you, and I hope that the course as a whole did indeed go very well for you. I definitely look forward to seeing you in future CLA courses, or maybe in chat somewhere else. But in all events, good luck with all your future studies. I hope some of them are classic studies, but in any event, all your future studies and all your future career plans, I hope that they all turn out for the best. Good luck to you, and maybe we'll see you again sometime.